Welcome, everyone, to this evening's webinar. It's nice to be back. I really enjoy every week sharing Ayurveda knowledge with you. For those of you joining for the first time, my name is Lorena Carroll, and I'm an Ayurveda wellness consultant. I've been practicing Ayurveda for 30 years, and I've been doing transcendental meditation. I'm a certified teacher and practitioner of transcendental meditation. So welcome, and we are going to talk this evening about healthy beverages, healthy water, and healthy beverages. There is so much controversy about this topic. It can really make your head spin, and I hope to clarify some things for you. Often when I talk to people about Ayurveda, they get extremely overwhelmed by the knowledge that I give because sometimes it's so vastly different from what most people believe. So I don't want you to be taken back by anything. I think once I complete the session this evening, you will be more enlightened on what to drink, what not to drink, why, and to really start to think about the fluid intake, because we were supposed to drink 8 ounces, 8-ounce glasses of water or some type of fluid per day, and that's very, very important to do. But often we don't realize how much that can have an impact on our digestion, on our health overall, if we don't know how to drink properly, what to drink, how to drink it, when to drink it. So let's take the first subject of water. Now, water in plastic bottles is really not very good. You have all those plastics and a lot of chemicals. There are some plastics that are better, and if you check the bottom, if the number says under 7, then you're okay. But to be safe, I try to drink water out of glass as much as possible. It definitely is heavier to carry around, especially if you're buying it in the store. But I'm going to offer you a way to have water in your own home that's going to be very, very healthy, and then you could supplement with some mineral water. And that is RO water. And what you do is, many of you might have like the Brita filter or some type of filter on your water. So how do you know it's a good one? You want to make sure that there is absolutely nothing in the water, particularly chlorine and fluoride. The Brita and all those other sort of superficial type water purifiers where you kind of just put it in the filter is sort of in a plastic jar, and then you pour your own water from the city, city water in there, and then it gets filtered through. Well, again, there's going to be a lot of chemicals. So what you have to do is take out everything, and it's called RO, reverse osmosis. So you take everything out, but then you need to replenish it. You need minerals. That's what's happening with the normal city water. So people are saying, well, I can't take everything out because I need to have the minerals. But the problem is that if you keep the minerals in, then you have fluoride and chlorine, which are not good for you. There is controversy about that as well, but it's really not good to have high levels of fluoride and chlorine. You can go on the website, you can read all about it, but certainly fluoride, yes, maybe it helps your teeth from decaying, but there's other ways to help your teeth from decaying. So you don't absolutely need fluoride. I go to a wonderful biological dentist in the Chicago area, and he provides health care without having to use fluorinated water. So very, very important. Be cognizant of that. And when you travel around, when you go to Starbucks or you go somewhere, I ask, do you use filtered water? If they say no, then I'm not going to have a tea or a coffee. And I know that is a very huge commitment on your part, but you don't know what you're getting when you're getting city water. There are a lot of chemicals, so you have to be very careful. I'm always taking my own water everywhere. I mean, occasionally if you have that type of water, it's not going to bother you, but you don't want to have polluted water on a regular basis. It won't be good for the physiology. There's all sorts of articles on the negative impact of fluoride and chlorine and all other chemicals. Those are 2 of the major chemicals in water, but of course there's hundreds of others, and you don't want to be in contact with them. And if you already have your system, once you get to drinking better water, your system will eventually flush that out, and you'll be good to go. So, what kind of an RO system would you want to use? They have ones that you can put right underneath the sink. So, using the city water, and they're very reasonably priced. I can, if you shoot me an email, I can send you the information. I get mine. I don't know the name of it, but there's a gentleman in Fairfield, Iowa, and he will drop ship it. He runs a company called American Choice Water. His name is Richard Trice, and he has these wonderful units because what he does is he does the RO, the reverse osmosis, but he's actually added added minerals, wonderful minerals that we need. And you can also get little drops. They have if you get the complete pure RO water, then you can just get little mineral drops. They're also available online. And I will have that put up on my blog very soon, the name and the company you can order them from. And so it's just a little bottle, not cumbersome to carry around, very tiny. And you just need like one or two drops. You actually don't want to have too many. So that's another option for you. So definitely look into RO water. If you'd like more information on the water that I have, the water system that I have, you just put it under the sink. It has a wonderful spout, and then you just change the filters once a year. Also, they offer a shower head. You don't want to have too many chemicals. The shower head costs about $100, lasts about a year, and you just put the water on the water head on the shower, and then you have nice water to bathe in, because the skin is the largest organ, so any of the chemicals can go, into the skin when you bathe as well. So you should be careful of that. And in terms of the plastic, what you can do is when you go to Whole Foods or when you are traveling, try to find a Whole Foods or some type of grocery store that has good mineral water in glass. Um, the Mountain Valley water is always in glass, and that I really love. That water has actually been tested. The other controversy is that there is the water that you get from these plastic bottles or glass bottles in the store. There's controversy that that water can actually be just some city water somewhere, horrible water, and that they're just making money. It's sort of a scam. Somebody in Fairfield, Iowa, has checked out the Mountain Valley, and you can test the water. So if you get water on a regular basis, have it tested. Maybe cost you $50 or $100, but isn't it worth it to know what you're drinking? But I know that, the Mineral Valley has been tested, and so it is pure mineral water without any chemicals. So that is one you can choose. Fiji might be a good brand. I haven't tested it, but even though it's in plastic, I feel the plastic is fairly safe. When you go to the airport, you're not going to be able to get regular, kind of bottled water in glass. So you'll have to just take maybe Fiji or Evian, some of the more higher priced but sort of reliable, types of water. Distilled water, it's kind of a little bit like dead water, doesn't have a lot of vitality to it. So that's really not recommended. And bubbled water. I know many of you love bubbled water. When I tell my clients that they have to reduce that or eliminate it completely, they're very, very disappointed. However, let's think about bubbled water and what it does. So it's fizzing. It's fizzing in the system. And some people say, well, some of the waters that we get are naturally carbonated, so wouldn't that be better? And of course, those are better. But the carbonated water, initially you might think, oh, it really helps my digestion and it's getting down there and it breaks up the gas and the bubbles in the stomach and it works wonders like an Alka-Seltzer. But in reality, it's creating more bloating and really not good as part of the digestive process. You have digestive enzymes, and these digestive enzymes need to work efficiently in the body. And when you introduce other chemicals, you have to be careful that the reaction is going to be favorable. Now, if you overeat and you have a very bad stomach ache, what you can do is you can actually take a cup of warm water and put baking soda, let lemon juice and baking soda till it fizzes, and that'll have effect. But baking soda it's bubbling, but it is going to dissipate rather quickly. It's not that harsh type of bubble, and you're doing it in a rare occasion when you've overeaten, just to help settle the stomach. So that's sort of a different type of situation. But with bubbled water, you just want to be careful. I would just recommend trying to eliminate it completely. I know that's a huge feat for some of you, but you will feel much better. You'll have much less bloating. Your digestion's going to improve, and I think overall you're going to be much, much happier. You just have to get into the routine. No cold water. In Ayurveda, this is one of the main guiding principles to healthy living. Don't have cold water. And the reason why is that the stomach is very warm inside, and it's got all, like I said, all these enzymes, and they're there just doing their job. And then you come there. It's like somebody throwing a cold, bucket of water over your head, and it's shocking. And then you get that chill. Well, your stomach needs warmth to digest. It needs fire, agni. And so you want to make sure that your digestive enzymes and are not diluted with this type of cold water. You'll get bloating and gas and all of these other things. And so you want a warm, nourishing environment. So those of you that have already know what your dosha is, vata, pitta, or kapha. If you're pitta dosha, then it's completely fine to have room temperature water. If you're overheated and it's summertime and it's hot, fine, But it should be actually boiled. And that would be, boil the water, maybe, even just a regular boil, but ideally 5 to 10 minutes boiling water. Let it come to room temperature, and then you can drink it. Vata and kapha types that are more cold, are always cold even in the summer, they just run cold by nature, then they want to have warmer. Obviously, you don't want it hot to burn your tongue, but you want definitely warmer fluids. And this is going to feel very nourishing to you. You're going to see people that make that change. It's amazing the transformation in their life. There's a story about an Ayurvedic physician who was just traveling around. He had to go to a restaurant and eat, and he sat in a restaurant, and the waitress was very overweight, and somehow he solicited, gave some unsolicited advice to her, and said, you know what? Why don't you just drink hot water? I just want you to drink hot water. And I don't know all the backstory to the whole sort of restaurant visit with this lady. They go back a year later, and this lady was extremely slender. She had lost so much weight just by hot water. And I know that sounds unbelievable, but the point is that her digestion probably dramatically improved by that one measure that she took. And so there is a very powerful impact. And we're talking about detox. So the last 6 or 7 webinars that I've done, we're talking about diet and digestion, and not all of you want to lose weight. The other reason with the warmer water, the hotter water, is toxins will build up every time you give your body a cold. It's like you're giving your body a cold shower with that cold water. The vessels are going to constrict, things don't function normally. You're going to build up ama, toxins. Remember we had that word toxins equals ama. So ama is, very toxins that are built up in the nervous system. So you need to really take this very seriously. That's why I've devoted the whole, half hour to it. So please, please try to have room temperature water. It is a nuisance. You're going to drive everybody crazy. Everywhere I go, I say, oh, can you go in the back? Like if I go to a restaurant, can you go in the back and please try to find me a room temperature water? And, begrudgingly, somebody's got to go back there and, spend extra time. And if you get a smoothie, please don't ask them to put ice in it. Tell them no ice, and wait till the smoothie comes to room temperature before you drink it. That's all you have to do. If you've made a smoothie at home and it is cold because maybe everything's cold, you can actually put it in glass, run it under hot water for a little while, and that'll just get it faster to room temperature. Put it in if you put it in a glass jar, you put it in a nice bath. So now what about the amount of fluid intake in a day? Average for most people are about 8-ounce glasses. If you're really big, if you're 6 feet, and hopefully you're not, 300 pounds, but, say you're 6 feet and you're, 200 pounds, average, maybe weight for that person that size, or 150 pounds, depending, then, you may need a little bit more. Bigger the person, a little bit more. But it really depends upon each individual, how much you retain water, how much goes out quickly. Pitta dosha, water just goes right through them. Kaphas tend to hold on to the water, so they can't really, if you're overweight, you can't really drink too much because you tend to hold on to it, but you still need to drink enough to stay hydrated. So what I recommend in the morning, you've probably heard of lemon honey water. If you don't have too much extreme heat in the nervous system, then you can do a lemon honey water in the morning, but the honey it's room temperature water, it's not hot. We never put honey in hot water. So very, very important that you can have this in the morning. And if you don't want to have that, just have regular water. And it can be room temperature, it can be maybe a little bit warmer, whatever is appealing to you, but just not cold. And then, so then you have, you're starting to flush out the toxins. And many of you, we talked about the digestone, wonderful tablets to take at night to also help with toxins. So now you have your 1 cup in the morning, and then you're going to have your morning beverage. So let's talk about, what a beverage that would be. Coffee, tea. I really urge many of you that are drinking more than 1 cup of coffee to try to start cutting back. But you can't cut back all at once because it is like a drug and you will have withdrawal. So you can try to replace every cup of coffee with a cup of green tea. And I would just do that. And if you're drinking 6, 7 cups a day, which I know actually many people that do, then you probably just want to take, let's take the average, you're drinking maybe 3 cups of coffee a day. You want to cut back to 2.5. I know it sounds sort of strange, but if you cut back even that 1 cup too quickly, you won't feel well. You'll notice it right away. You'll get headaches, you won't feel good. And it's very dehydrating, coffee, very dehydrating. So 1 cup is enough. Make sure it's organic because they do put a lot of pesticides in the coffee when they grow it. So you backtrack. So you say, okay, maybe I drink 3 cups, I'll do 2.5 cups for maybe a week, and then I'll do 2 cups. And then you want it to be a transition as if nothing's happening. So gentle, just like when doctors take people off prescription medications, they do it gently, just bit by bit, so the nervous system doesn't even recognize the change, and that's how you should do it. So that's the coffee. We also have herbal coffee. If you really love the bitter taste, it's not going to taste like a good cup of coffee, of course, but it's called a Raja's cup, and it's a powerful antioxidant. Raja's cup. So those of you might know, you can go to my website, you can order it. It comes in grain that you can put through a coffee pot, or you can actually just put it in tea bags. Let me just check the time, and we'll see where we're at. I want to go over, I know many of you, okay, we have plenty of time to get through the rest. Okay, so green tea. Green tea does have caffeine, and caffeine is not too bad in moderation. And so in the morning, if you do need a boost, I would recommend green tea opposed to black tea. Black tea has what's called tannins, and they can even unknowingly irritate the stomach. So you may not feel that effect, but even though I know it has many health benefits, black tea and many types of those caffeinated teas do, the only one that really is truly healthy for you is the green tea, according to my opinion now. I mean, if some other information comes out, I'm willing to, take back that opinion. But currently, from what I know, that's the situation. But green tea, if you get organic green tea and you steep it, for maybe 5 minutes, and you drink it, it really doesn't give you a jarring feeling. Some people it might, but for the most part, people don't feel any jarring feeling. It can actually have a good calming effect as well, and you can add some other herbal teas to it. So you have the caffeinated tea and the herbal tea like tulsi or holy basil. You can add those to it. It's a very stress relieving type drink, which gives you energy, but not like a jarred type energy. It's really, really nice. So those of you that like to have some caffeine in the morning and are used to it, if you're trying to wean off, you could have maybe some decaffeinated coffee and then have a nice cup of green tea. And in terms of herbal teas, water is hard to digest. That's why you boil it. Believe it or not, you change the molecular structure of the water when you boil it. So that's why it's really important to boil the water to change that. Another way to actually add digestive ability to the water, because some people say I can't digest anything. Some people say I can digest, stone, but other people can't digest anything. And even if you have a strong digestion, you still want to, keep in mind this whole situation of the boiling of the water, changing the molecular structure, and to do that on a regular basis. And by also adding some herbal teas, which I actually have here. And why would we want to do this? There's effects of teas. Now, it's minimal effect, but you can't believe if you are highly stressed. Say you have a really stressful job. I mean, the Transcendental meditation technique we obviously all know because most of you probably on the call have heard about it or practice it regularly. That's the most amazing thing, to have a calm and balancing effect in your life. But don't underestimate the power of these teas. So this is Vata tea. Some of you that have been to my house or you come to the Oak Brook location where I teach meditation, you see these Vata tea and then Pitta tea. So we have, according to the dosha. I don't use the kapha tea very much, so I don't have it. The Vata tea is really if you're cold all the time, you can't believe how quickly you'll warm up with that. It has very heating herbs in it, and so it warms you up. So these are the effects that you can get, very calming effect. It curbs the appetite because it's very, very sweet. It's got licorice in it and cardamom and ginger. People love this tea. They are just thrilled about the tea. Now, if you are hot all the time, if you're Pitta dosha and you're under a lot of stress and you're type A and you're just going crazy at work, then you need this, especially if you have irritability and you get hot all the time. Very calming, very, very calming influence, but cooling. So this is cooling, and then this is heating. So you have an effect. In the summer, you would drink this to cool down. It has rose water in it, or actually roses. And this in the winter to heat up. And then we have a wonderful worry-free tea. Many of you have been to to my house where you've had some delicious worry-free tea. Okay, bee trim. This is for those of you that are doing the detox. Bee trim tea, excellent for curbing appetite, but also for controlling blood sugar levels. So wonderful. And this is something you could have on the go. So you don't have to just be bothered all the time with having to bring so many things with you. You can just stash a few in your pocket or your purse. And then this is slumber time tea. On a bad night, where you feel like you may not sleep well, of course you have your other blissful sleep tablets by Maharishi Ayurveda that are wonderful. But look, slumber time tea. It's really amazing. And they taste good. Most people really love the taste. I know my mom, she always says, oh, I hate to drink water. There's no flavor. So this is where you can start to drink more fluids if you're resistant to drinking more fluids. And if you have a variety of teas, then it's going to give you flavor to sort of encourage you to drink a little bit more. And so we have different options, for the different teas. You can even make, we talked about the detox tea. A very good tea for detox is cumin, coriander, and fennel seeds. You can just take equal amounts, maybe a half a teaspoon of each, or if you want to make a big quart pot, maybe if you have a whole family. But you don't drink that tea after 6 p.m. at night because it acts as a diuretic. You might be, kind of up for a little while, kind of having the urge to go to the bathroom, so you don't want to do that. But that's an excellent tea. Very good for gas and bloating, improves digestion. So be very aware throughout the day. Now that you have this knowledge, be aware of the changes. You can even journal some of these changes as you implement them. And think to yourself, okay, I'm going to have 8 glasses a day. If you have to start counting them. The other biggest point about fluids is not to drink too much with any food that you're eating. There has to be in the stomach 1/3 air and 1/3 liquid and then 1/3 food. So be careful. And you don't have to drink too much at once. So don't drink more than 8 ounces at a time. sort of spread it out a little bit. If you drink like 8 to 16 ounces of water, it can actually flush out too much of the electrolytes and the important nutrients, especially after eating. So after you eat a meal, with your meal, you're going to drink maximum 8 ounces throughout the entire meal, maximum 8 ounces of fluid, and then you're not going to have any more fluid for at least an hour. And then you want to sip water for another hour. So this is very, very important to not dilute the digestive enzymes. If we drink too much fluid, we dilute the digestive enzymes. So very, very important that I want to express to you. It'll be a game changer. Now, I know it's a lot to think about, but it'll become very natural to you. It's all habit. Once you start implementing it in a certain way, then you do it the next day, you do it the next day. And if you have any questions, you can just email me and at Laurina, Laurina, your ayurvedaconsultant.com. Now in the YouTube videos that I have on the website, I have all of them edited now on the website, on the YouTube. You can just actually Google Laurina Carroll YouTube videos, and you will find all of my YouTube videos that I've created since the beginning, because I'm sure many of you have missed some. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, and it was a pleasure to be with you. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.